Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Pause in Pursuit podcast with your host, Summer Clark. So today I have a very exciting guest episode for you all. I have Christoffer Endresen coming on the podcast with me today. We are going to be talking all about performance enhancement for the agility handler and what we can do as handlers to help ourselves, basically. Christoffer is an author of The Agility Mindset, which is a book all about, you guessed it, the agility mindset for the handler and how they can optimize their performance through their mental techniques. And he is also a podcast host himself. He runs the podcast The Champion's Journey, which I love very, very much. So without further ado, let's get straight into the conversation.
The first thing I always ask my guests then is just to briefly introduce yourself. So who are you and how did you get into the agility world and how long have you been doing what you're doing?
Yeah, so my name is Christoffer Endresen. I'm from Norway. I think I am 34 years old. I can't remember, but I think that's where I am at the moment. And I got into agility or was introduced to agility back in 2017. Mm-hmm. So I was back then working with professional athletes as a personal trainer and mental coach, helping them before competitions in the prep work, but also during competitions. Mm-hmm. Then I was also working with professional trainers because they basically have a performance profession where they don't get a fixed salary. They have commission based. So a lot of people were struggling with that. And they had to break through a lot of barriers in terms of calling up people, trying to pitch them that they should go for this package and not that package. So I worked with a lot of I worked with a lot of personal trainers, and through that I got to know a woman called Monica Schold, and she was working as the center leader of one of the gyms. And she was struggling with nerves before a competition, and she was then recommended me. And we sat down for a coffee, and that's probably one of the most expensive coffees I've had because it led me through to the agility journey.
And the agility journey is expensive. You're right.
yeah, it definitely is. And I've done maybe 2 or 3 runs myself because through Monica I also met Eli Bjatsæter, which is now my partner. And that's when it started to get expensive. So
traveling, competing, all the things.
Yes, traveling, competing. But the way that we look at it, because for us it's a family thing. It's not just me and her. It's her mother, her father, her sister-in-law. Yeah, the whole thing. Okay. So we do it together, and it's tremendous fun. And I would say that it's like for us, it's just bringing us closer together. And when I met Eli, I thought I was allergic to dogs, but I always wanted a dog.
Okay. So you hadn't got a dog because you thought you were allergic?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And when we were kind of starting dating, I was like, I'm not so interested in sort of chewing pills for the rest of my life in terms of being allergic.
Yeah, so, got to test it out.
Yeah, so what I did was that I took her oldest dog. Her name was Saraya. She was a Sheltie, and I just rubbed her in my face just to check if I had a reaction.
I actually also used to be allergic to dogs. I genuinely was really allergic to all animals as a child. So my parents were like, right, you can have a dog, but it has to be a hypoallergenic breed, obviously. Yeah. And then now I've seemed to have grown out of it. Luckily, because I'm always in big halls with dogs and all sorts, so it's a good job, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's perfect. And so since then, it's like now we have 4 dogs, and I just love it. So I spend 24/7 with the dogs.
But you're more obviously the mentor kind of side of it than the actual competing.
Yes. So Eli is has been performing in European Open, AWC since 2016. Okay. And if you also take away COVID and a dog epidemic that we had in Norway in 2019. Oh, right. But she's been on the national team since 2016. And basically my role is to be an agility supportive spouse.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's actually really fun. And so we kind of see it as a team sport also outside of not just the handler and dog running, but also the sport team around it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can kind of get wrapped up in thinking it's just about you and the dog. Do you know what I mean? And a very individual, because for the most part, it is a very individual as far as the competing goes. But it's definitely good to look at it from the other way as well. And I think that kind of gives you a different perspective of it instead of always being like, right, me and my dog must win all the time.
Yeah. And I've worked with individual sports. I used to do cycling myself, and that's also a very individual sport, especially most of the training is very individual.
Yeah, definitely.
But I've never experienced an individual sport that is not a team sport.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the support team around you, or at least build it.
Yeah, you literally can't do it all on your own, can you? Not the same.
Can't.
No, so true. Cool. So the first question then. What are your top tips for combating handler anxiety in a competition setting? So I definitely struggled with this in the past and still do sometimes. And I'd say, you can have all the skills, you and your dog can have all the skills, but if you're too anxious, you're never going to get it right, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, it definitely is. And this is probably one of the main reasons why people contact me, is that they experience this anxiety. And I would say that the anxiety is a very normal thing. You can get it from anything, basically. It could be talking on a stage or talking in front of people. It could be phoning up someone. It could be just entering or signing up for a competition. You can get this reaction of anxiety or fear response.
Yeah.
What you would like to call it. The first thing I think is important is that you have to accept that it's a natural thing, that it's something that happens when you have some sort of pressure or expectations of how you want to perform, or you're building a story that everyone is looking at you, and it could be anything.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a lot of it as well, is a lot of people care too much what other people think. So when they think they're being watched, it's so much worse than if they were just on their own doing the same thing.
True. And it is that you're maybe fear of being judged, you fear of failure. There could be so many things that is associated to it, but there are a couple of things that you can do. One of the things that I see all the time is that especially when someone is new, or they're going to a competition for the first time, it could be a big event as well, is that how they set the intention controls their attention.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, so their intention for what they want to get out of it, do you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So if your intention is too big in terms of I need to cue, or I need to win, or I need to make sure that I'm not making a fool out of myself, then that is taking too much space of your attention, because that is limited. Yeah. And agility is very complex task.
Oh yeah, there's so many things in it that
there's so many details.
Yeah.
How are you going to solve this sequence? Where are you going to stand? What command are you going to give your dog? How will my dog react? There are so many things that you need to think through, and you need to rehearse over and over again before a competition, so that if you're thinking too much about winning or cueing or whatever it might be, then that is taking up too much space of your attention, and you're not giving enough attention to the task at hand.
Yeah.
So I probably said this many times, and if you heard it before, I will keep on repeating it. But this is one of the things that we repeat over and over and over again before any competition. When I talk to Ellie before she goes out for a run, it's like, what are the three most important things? It's the task at hand, task at hand, and the task at hand.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
To really dial a focus in on her job and not the external factors.
Yes. Take your attention back to what you need to do.
Okay. Yeah.
What are the actions that you need to take, where and when and how, and rehearse that over and over and over again, because that is where your attention needs to be.
Yeah. Stuff you can control, not the things like who's watching, other stuff like that people worry about.
What do they think?
Yeah. All the time, honestly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, they'd do so much better if they knew it was just them and their dogs in the arena. That's how much it affects a lot of people, I think, as well. But it's getting used to just zoning it out, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's creating your own type of bubble. But it's also when you get hyper focused on what you need to do, those things aren't allowed into your attention space. They sort of bounce off.
Yeah.
But there are also a couple of other things that you could do. So it's all about state management. So fear is a state of mind, and also a physical state, because what you think and what you feel influences how you hold your body. So you can attack or change your state by changing how you hold your body. That's one of the things. But it's also what labels are you putting on things? What labels are you putting on yourself in terms of, and you're telling yourself that I'm not good enough for this event, or I don't belong in this grade, or those type of things. That is just putting you in a very bad state. So if you can catch yourself saying those things and change them, that would also change your mindset or your state of mind.
It's that negative self-talk, isn't it? Never helps.
Yeah, it never helps, but it kind of becomes a record that is on repeat sometimes. It's there for most people, and it comes on without you ever being aware of it. It happens to me. Yes, subconscious. So it happens to me as well. But I'm getting better and better at catching myself when that record starts playing.
Yes.
And then knowing how to take back control, turn it off, and change it to a different record.
And like you said, often nerves as well, it's not fighting them. It's kind of thinking, well, this is just a normal physiological human response kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then also, I've heard people say before how they just try to reframe nerves as excitement, because it's the same kind of feeling.
Yeah.
So instead of thinking, oh no, I'm really anxious, think, oh, this is just excitement that I need to do the run, if that makes sense. So it's perspective.
Yeah, definitely. And also for me, when I have a couple of buddies that I grew up with, every summer we have the most important event ever, which is not important at all. It's just us competing against each other. And
very important.
Very important for us, but it's meaningless to the rest of the world. And before that type of event, I can really feel that my body's entering into a different state, that like my tummy gets loose. You get all these type of reactions that you're entering the bathroom like 20 times before you go for a run.
Yeah.
And how you label that has a huge influence on what it means, because you're probably always asking yourself, what does this mean? And if you say that means that I'm nervous or I'm not coping with it, well, that becomes your experience.
Yeah,
but
true.
For me, it's like I label that as my body's getting ready for a fight.
Yeah, because you got to be alert to do agility, and that's just what your body's trying to get you into that kind of state, isn't it?
Correct. So it's also about how you label things. And then the last part of what I call the triangle. So the first part is your physical body, how you hold that, how you control that. The other part is the labels that you use. So you be consciously aware of the labels you use on yourself, your dog, the judge, the course, etc.
Yeah, happens a lot with the course, definitely.
Happens a lot with the course, and even the name of the event. If you have a championship as a label of the event you're entering, like that could make most people freak out, even though it's their home turf and they sort of compete there 2-3 times a year with probably the same judges.
Yeah, it's a scary word, championship. Means it must be more important, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's what we say to ourselves.
So, and then the last one is your focus. And that goes back to your attention. And that is also becoming aware of the mental movies that you're playing in your head. And if you're watching movies consciously or unconsciously, where you see yourself making a mistake, or you're struggling to figure out what you should do in a certain sequence, and you're kind of stuck there and there's friction there, that takes a lot of your energy away from rehearsing the course over and over and over again. So if you look at different sports, like you can take Formula One, you can take more of the winter sports as well. there you have like skiing downhill. They are visualizing the course over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because the more they rehearse that mentally, the more they're sort of prepping their subconscious mind for what it needs to do. And the cool part is that once you've done that many, many times before it's your turn, if you allow yourself to just disconnect the conscious mind, like to relax, then you will see that your body is just doing what you need to do because you rehearsed it so many times.
Yeah, and it feels like you've already done it because you've done it in your head. But our brains are like, well, you must have actually done it. Kind of the same thing, isn't it? In our head.
Yes. You've been rehearsing, and that's why I say to people that from when the judges turn to build their course, or when you get the course map, you should start to rehearse the course. You should start to make a plan at least. And once you go out and do the course walk, you can check if that plan is still viable.
Yeah.
And then make the adjustments because you're in a different perspective and see things from a different perspective.
Yeah, instead of waiting till you're actually down there to start doing anything.
Yeah, you need to leverage the time that you have.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you make the adjustment if needed. And then once you made a decision on how you're going to deal with the course, what you need to do then is to focus on how many times am I going to rehearse this course before it's my turn, and how am I going to prepare both myself physically and my dog physically before we're having that run.
Yeah, so it's again doing one thing, doing your mental prep, and then you can relax and you think my brain's got it, and then focus on warming yourself and your dog up and stuff.
Yeah. And also while you're doing the warm-up, you can rehearse the course and just go through it. Depending on where you are, if it's a local competition, if you have someone that could warm up the dog, that's my role in the whole game. I sometimes have to warm up the dog, but if there's plenty of starters before Ailey, then she does it herself.
Yeah, but it's definitely helpful having a groom there to do that for you.
Definitely helps. So that's I think that if I can make an online course teaching how the partners become an agility supportive spouse, I will become a millionaire.
Yeah, it's my mum's job. That's my mum's job at the moment, and she'd definitely sign up for that course.
Yeah, but it's great. It's like when you have a support system like a parent or a friend or a spouse or even a training partner in agility that you support each other, it really helps and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. Not just what they can physically do for you, but just having that mental support there as well is really helpful. Yeah. For sure.
So that was the long answer to a short question.
We like long answers. That's good.
Good.
So, second question is, how do you prevent a phase of poor runs from negatively impacting your self-belief? So, say you've been to, say, a show every weekend over the past month and every single one has gone badly. How do you stop that from making yourself go, oh, I must be terrible then?
Yeah, and that is probably one of the most important parts as well is how are you processing your results?
Yeah.
In terms of, it doesn't matter if it's a good result or a bad result. It doesn't matter if it's an elimination or a clean run. There's always learning elements in that run. Things that you did really well, things that you improved. And even though you get an elimination, it doesn't mean that the run was bad. It could have meant that you had a really good flow, and then just on the last obstacle, there was a miscommunication.
Yeah. I know it's hard as well because you can have an amazing run, but if you get that elimination, it's labeled again, isn't it, as an elimination?
Yeah, but then again, we sort of always label it. Is it a good elimination or is it a learning elimination?
Yes, that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. So
and usually they are learning, actually.
Yeah, usually it always is because there's so much feedback from a run, and especially one of the things that I really love with agility handlers is that they're always filming.
Yeah. If the run isn't filmed, the run didn't happen.
True. Yeah, that's probably more our generation that
I think
that.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. But it should be the standard because you have one perspective when you're running, and you think and feel and experience things, and you have your thoughts and your opinions about the run. But then when you rewatch it, then you might get it from a different perspective, a more objective perspective.
Definitely,
which makes the whole experience different, and you have to rethink a couple of things.
I usually watch my video back and go, oh, it's not as terrible as I thought it was.
That's correct. And it could be the opposite as well. It's like, wow, was it that terrible?
Yeah.
That could be. It's like when I run, I have an image in my head of how I'm running.
And then you watch it and you think, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah. Really thought I looked cooler than that down there.
So I would say that one of the most important things is that, of course, how you process it, but it's also detaching yourself from the outcome.
Yeah, super important.
Yeah, so one of the things that I know that when I was younger and I was doing cycling, I was going through failure after failure after failure. It's like life was giving me, I felt that life was just knocking me down constantly. And the challenge was that for me was that I defined my self-worth was equal to my results.
Yeah.
So when I came to a point in life where I was not performing well in school, I was not performing well in sports, I was not performing well in social life, like my results were zero, my self-worth equals
also zero.
Yeah. As a consequence of that. And I think that in many ways, that's just our default thinking. I think a lot of people think like this. A lot of people are not aware of it. But one of my favorite sort of affirmations that I use, especially when I have to remind myself of this, because I also have to remind myself of this from time to time, is that I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my feelings, I'm not my actions, and I'm not my results.
Yeah. Again, that detachment from all those different things.
Yeah. If you can manage to create a sort of a tiny little space saying that the results that I'm getting is not defining what I'm able to do or my potential. It's a statement of my current output or what I'm able to produce, but it's not necessarily a statement to what I'm able to do. And that becomes a different game, because then you can understand that, yes, I'm not where I want to be, but I can get there because I believe that I have the potential to it. And the sort of the author and the creator of this growth mindset concept, her name is Carol Dweck. She's a professor at Stanford.
And I've read her book, actually. I can't remember what the book's called, but she has
mindset.
Oh, it is literally mindset. Yeah, I've read that one.
It's really good. And she has some really good TED Talks as well. And she talks about the power of yet. Because when we get a result, and let's say the result is not what we want, it's like, I can't do running contacts yet.
Yeah. It's adding
and
the yet.
If you add the yet, you state what is the current results. But by adding the yet, you're also stating that there's a potential there for me to accomplish that, which then allows you to put in the work that is required for you to get to that outcome.
Without feeling terrible about yourself before you get there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. And I think if you're going to compete, you have to do that. You have to, detach your self-worth from the results, because you're never going to win all the time, ever. Actually, you're probably going to win less than you lose. So it's just, you just have to do it. Otherwise, you'll just be miserable, won't you?
Yes, and especially when it comes to agility, it's like, imagine any other sports was like, you come and say, I got eliminated. It's like, what did you do?
Sounds brutal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really brutal.
Yeah.
It's like getting a red card in football.
Yes, yeah. But it's actually not. It could just be the dog just taking, like, slightly the wrong jump or something.
Yeah, that's the case, but it sounds really horrible when you're new to the sport, or if you're talking to someone else that doesn't know it. It's like
it does actually,
it sounds brutal, because in any other sport, it's like that's the worst penalty you could get. But I think that also helps.
It's not even all down to you, is it? It's just not down to you. Like the dog could just be having one of those days as well.
Yeah.
Or you could do the best run you've ever done, but someone just happens to do a better one by like 0.5 of a second. And then if you come second to them, you go, oh, well, I didn't win. You kind of take that away from yourself.
Yeah.
So that's tricky.
Yeah. And that's when you go into this result-oriented mindset instead of actually the process-oriented mindset, which will usually take you much, much further because if you're in a result-oriented mindset, you're comparing yourself against others. That is fine. It's not dangerous to do that. But you have to at least also compare an apple to an apple in terms that you have to compare your dog against your dog.
Yes.
Not the other dog that you have, but with the dog that it sort of has developed to become. And if you can focus on the progress that you're having with that dog, that is more, I would say, more healthy, more sustainable, and also more rewarding, because that basically means that if you've been working hard on the weaves to build that and focusing in your training and sort of dealing with that skill, and you go to the next competition and you just nail the weaves, but you get eliminated, it's like, that's still a win.
Yeah, because that's your focus.
Yeah, it's your focus. And back to intention, right? What is the intention that you set for this competition?
Yeah, it's not to win everything, it's to get good weaves.
Yeah. And one of the things that I talk about often is that when I come from a different perspective when it comes to sports. And when we plan for sports, we usually sit down, we look at a yearly calendar, and then we decide that there should be 2 or 3 events that are the most important events.
Okay.
Those are the most important competitions.
Yeah.
Everything else become training competitions.
Yeah. So
that you use.
Yeah. So the big ones could be like EO, AWC.
Yeah.
And then the other ones
or the tryouts even.
Yes, tryouts, yeah. Yeah,
because that sets the stage for if you can go to those competitions.
True, yeah. Getting ahead of myself there.
Yeah. So we for us, we've said like the tryouts is one of the most important competitions. If that goes well, that would allow us to go to the EO or to AWC, depending on how we score. And then for Ailey, it's basically been the tryouts and AWC have been the 2 most important competitions. Yeah. So we actually down prioritize competitions such as the Nordic Championship and the Norwegian Championship and even European Championship.
Yeah, okay.
So it's all about prioritizing. And even for the ones that are, let's say in the UK, Crufts could be one.
Yes, yeah.
I learned from Dave Munnings, it's called Olympia. That's another big event.
Yeah, Crufts and Olympia, I'd say, are the biggest kind of national events in the UK.
Yeah, and you have the WAO, could be another big event. It could be even be something like the biggest local competition. So here in Norway, we have Norwegian Open. That could, for many Norwegians, that's the most important competition for us this season.
Yeah.
That's the highlight. So they focus in on that. But by having 2 or 3 competitions that are the most important competitions that you're preparing for, then everything else becomes like a build up to it.
Yes, yeah. Takes the pressure off those events then, doesn't it?
It does. Definitely does. But you can also use them as training competitions for a big event so that you're adding on the extra pressure so that you learn how to deal with it.
True, yeah. No, I didn't think of it that way, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. No, that makes sense. And as well, because we all plan our yearly calendars pretty early, don't we? Like, we know kind of what's coming in the year. So that's something you can pretty much do from the word go. You know, going into a new year, for example.
You should, and it's one of the things that I really recommend. And if you can start by just plotting that in first in the calendar, it's like you're putting in the big stones first.
Yeah.
And then you start the other competitions becomes the small pebbles.
Yeah, kind of building around it.
Yeah, building around it. You probably know the story about the jar where the teacher comes in with a big glass jar. And then he just fills it with big rocks and say, is it empty or full? And the class says it's full.
I don't think I do know that one.
Oh, you don't know that one?
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, it's basically, you can find it on YouTube even, but it's basically kind of a story and a metaphor that a teacher comes into the classroom with a big glass jar and he fills it with giant rocks.
Okay.
So it's just maybe like 10 rocks in the whole jar.
Yeah.
And he asks the students, is it full? And they say, yes, it's full.
Mm.
And then he takes smaller rocks and he put it into the same jar and it just falls between the big rocks. And then he asks the students, is it full now? It's like, yes, now it's full. And then he takes sand and then he fills it with sand. That goes in between the big rocks and the pebbles and everything. And then he asks them, is it full now? And then I say, yes, again. But then he takes 2 cups of coffee and pour it in.
So you can keep filling it up more than when you think it's full.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
But he also had a second jar. And then I said, what would happen if I filled the sand first? And then the pebbles? And then the big rocks? Then it wouldn't be room for the big rocks.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So in that metaphor, big stuff first.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. That makes sense. No, I like that.
So when it comes to, that was a metaphor for life. So prioritize family.
Yes. Okay.
In our case, dogs.
Yeah.
That type of things. Before work and all those type, all other things.
Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah, it makes sense. But try practicing it.
Yeah.
It's like
a lot harder than just that.
It is. It
Easier said than done.
It is. Most things are.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it comes to agility, if we use the same metaphor, it's basically to put in the most important competitions first. And then you fill with the other competitions, the training competitions, as we call them. Those are the pebbles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you build it from there. And there's always room for a cup of coffee.
Absolutely. Or 2.
Yeah.
Cool. So we briefly touched on this already, but what is visualization and how can it benefit the agility handler?
Yeah. So visualization is basically you using your imagination to generate a movie that you would like to watch or experience. And I actually prefer to use a different word than visualization. I like to use simulation.
Okay.
Because simulation, we have a different association to the word. Because it's more engaging. It actually means that we need to do stuff.
Yeah, instead of just see it.
Yes. So when people are thinking about visualization, they're thinking that they're watching themselves running as if you were watching a film of yourself doing a run.
Okay.
A simulation is when you're entering into that experience. It becomes like a VR experience where you're actually experiencing the run.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In your mind.
Okay.
And nowadays, it's like there's so much cool new news about AI that can generate videos. Like
scary.
Just write it. Yeah, it's scary and it's cool.
Yeah.
You can just write a prompt and then suddenly it just pops up whatever you would like to have. But it's like, yeah, and you had that for free in your mind your whole life.
Yeah, true.
But you never used it.
Yeah, no, you could have just seen it yourself.
Yeah. And we can basically get anything to sort of pop up in our mind. Some are better than others. There are few that cannot do it. They cannot generate an image.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's called something, isn't it? Where you physically can't see things in your mind.
I can't remember what it is, but it's such a low percentage of the population.
Yeah.
So most people can actually use it.
Yeah.
And then you can have people like who have autism, who may be more extreme. There are savants, it's called, I think, in English, that are just hyper good at this. They can just fly over London and then they can go back to a canvas and just draw all the details of London. It's like,
wow, that's impressive.
They have this photographic memory. So it just says how much potential it is in our brain. But going back to the purpose of simulation, if you're a pilot, is that you get to practice the skills that you need to develop without the risk.
Yeah.
And you can do it as many times as you want, and it has a low risk and a low cost.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong. because you can just do it again.
Yeah. So it's much better to crash in the simulator than it is to crash in real life, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, and the risk, again, when it comes to agility, how it's sort of applicable to agility, is that you can do a run in your mind. You probably need to put in some effort in order to generate those pictures and getting to that from your perspective experience. But once you get it, you can basically do the runs and you can rehearse the runs. So when you've done the coursework, you should enter into a simulation mode where you're just rerunning the run as many times as you can in order to practice it.
Yeah.
And probably the best way to start with this is where I recommend people that they take their phone, they find a run that really was a great experience, that where they just felt the flow.
Yep.
First thing you do is to heart that movie so you have it in your favorites, and all your good runs should be in that list. They should be hearted so you can easily sort of recall them or get to them when you need it.
Okay.
The first thing you do is just watching that run on your phone, so that that prompts you to recall the run, the course. And for most people, they will even remember how the course was. They can say all the hurdles from 1 to 22 or 24 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think everyone has a few courses that they'll remember forever, even if they were like 5 years ago.
Yes, correct. And you just watch the video, and then you take your phone away. You sit down, maybe you put on some music, or you just calm down, and then you simulate and rerun and re-experience that run in your mind.
Okay, which is easier to start with because you've just watched it.
Yeah, you just watched it. You're actually recalling it from your memory. Yeah. You're not generating a new image, but you get to practice your imagination. And what is important there is that you actually have an experience, because it has to create some sort of sensation, either an emotion or a bodily sensation in terms of getting the goosebumps or
actually feeling it, not just seeing it.
Yeah. Feeling the joy, feeling the excitement. And that is when that's when you nailed it. That's when you actually managed to simulate and visualize. And I often say that if you don't get goosebumps, smile, or crying of joy when you're visualizing, you're not doing it correctly.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it has to add emotion to the mix. Not just watching it, but add emotion to the mix.
Yeah. And then I suppose when you practice doing it on a run that you've done before, then you'll get better at doing it on, say, a course you just walked that you haven't ran yet. Kind of thing. Yeah.
Because you train the muscle of imagination, and you also train the muscle of focus.
Yeah.
So it's the best way to really start. And once you get better at this, another thing is, like, in terms of you talked about one of the questions, when you're going through a period where it's really hard, you just got elimination after elimination after elimination. You're just building up a belief that I can't, and you have so much proof that is supporting that belief or that idea.
Yeah, and it's so fresh as well and happening right now.
Yes, it's fresh. It's happening right now. You're probably rerunning those runs without you thinking about it. It's just going on replay in the background.
Yeah, beating yourself up, saying, should have done this, should have done that.
Yes. But if you can consciously just control your focus and focus on the runs that went really well and rehearse them over and over and over again, then that is much better. And the funny thing about us humans is that when we do a bad run, we rewatch that run over and over and over again in our mind.
Yeah.
If we do a good run, it's like, yay, next run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We ruminate on the bad stuff longer than the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's so
true. I think that's just human nature. But if you're aware of it, then you can also put in measures and do the right things. Yeah. Just rehearse success.
Because if I've had a really bad run, I'll delete the video straight away. I'll be like, nah, I'll watch it once and be like, I can't watch that again. That's horrific. But it's still in my mind. It doesn't matter that I've deleted the video because it's in my head.
Never delete the crap.
I know. Yeah, it's something that it happens in the moment, and then later on, I'm like, no, I wish I'd still got that actually.
Yeah. You just get pissed off, right?
Yeah, in the moment, it's horrible.
Yeah, you should give your phone away.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So, how do you create an effective pre-run routine that sets you up for success then? So, obviously, you've got your visualization and your physical warm-up, but what else do you include and how do you structure it?
I would say that so many people are different. Everyone is different, and you have to take that individual into account.
Definitely.
So let's say for Ellie, she's more of an introvert. She it costs her energy to be surrounded by, like, in an arena or at a competition. It's not like she's antisocial, but it's just that if she uses too much energy of that, she will have less for the runs.
Yes.
Me, however, I'm recharging when I'm standing around the ring talking to people. So we're different there. Yeah. So if I'm coaching someone or I'm guiding someone to build a routine, you have to take some of these things into account, so that you're actually preserving your energy or building up or restoring your energy, however that is for you. So if you're aware of what works for you, then you should do that.
Yeah.
There are, of course, a couple of things that should be included. Number one is, of course, rehearsing the course as many times as possible, doing the simulation part, as we talked about just now.
Yeah.
Then it's the physical warm-up, because that just changes, it prepares your body, it lowers the chances of you getting injured. It lowers the chance of your dog to get injured. It also prepares your dog, and you can do it together. In addition, it changes your mindset. We talked about the body language. It's like, you don't need to stand for 2 minutes doing power poses next to the ring in order to get into a better state. I think most people would just look weirdly at you and say, like, what is that person doing?
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're warming up, you get the same benefits, and you actually get more benefits, I would say.
And I'd say a physical warm-up, it gets you in the zone mentally. Like you said, it isn't just physical. It actually gets you in the right state. Like, it gets your heart rate up, you're breathing a bit faster, stuff like that.
Yep. So imagine that, like, when I do a warm-up before that most important competition that we have every summer, it's like, what I'm doing is that if we have a 3,000 meter run, that's one of the most painful events that I know of, because it's short enough and it's just too long.
Yeah. And you have to sprint it, but it goes on forever.
It goes on forever. And, it's just going to be painful.
Yeah.
So I'm just warming up. I'm just visualizing myself, just being able to deal with the uncomfortableness. And I'm just repeating words of affirmation over and over again, just to pump me up and getting to that state so my body's prepared for that event.
Yeah.
And I'm just rehearsing the run over and over and over again. And that is my routine to do that. So another thing that is important as well is just to test out things. So if you're building your routine for the first time, create a draft and then experiment. You figure out what works and what doesn't. You take away the things that doesn't work. You take care of the things that work. And then you do your best so that you simplify it and it's manageable.
It's trial and error often, isn't it?
It is. But you also have to remind yourself of the purpose of a routine. So the purpose of a routine is for you to basically build a space of safety, something that you can control, that is helping you turning on the peak performance state.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a switch. That's what it is. It's a light switch that you programmed over repetitions and time that is helping you to switch on the proper mindset.
And that's what the pre-run routine does. It switches it on.
Yeah, and it creates safety.
Yes.
Because if you feel safe because you know that you prepared well, then you won't have anxiety. You might have pressure, but you won't have anxiety.
Okay. And the feeling of pressure and anxiety is different.
It's different. So anxiety comes from too much pressure.
Okay.
Peak performance comes from the proper amount of pressure.
Okay. Just enough, but not too much.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Because a lot of people,
So,
I think, feel anxious or think they feel anxious because they're under pressure. But really, they've just, for whatever reason, feeling the pressure too hard. Whereas you
yep.
kind of need a bit of pressure, don't you, to feel like you have to do well. So it is a
Yes.
very fine line.
And some handlers actually need that extra pressure because in order for them to perform at their best.
Yeah. I think this is, I have a friend and we were both at uni at the same time. And she could leave all of her assignments and stuff till the very last minute because that pressure made her do it and perform. I was the opposite. I had to get it done really early because the pressure had just made me way too anxious and I couldn't do it last minute. Yeah. So, you know, two completely different mindsets there and responses to pressure.
Yeah, and that goes back to that every person is different.
Yeah.
So it's like if me and Ellie are doing a seminars together, she's doing the agility normal workshop thing with one-on-one team.
Yeah.
And I'm doing like a session with everyone, whether that's physical training or mental training, that is in a different group. Then she could freak out before, but I'm just calm. And that is, I would say it's mostly based on my nature. That's just how I am as a person.
Yeah.
I also study full-time bachelor in economics.
Okay. And, yeah, pressure.
And I never freak out before an exam.
Wow, okay. It's just how your brain's wired, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's also in terms like, especially, I learned it when I was in school, is like, my results, my grade doesn't define who I am. I learned that. And once I learned that, I could have a different relationship to a result.
True. So through learning that, now you're not scared of the exam because you worry that you'll do bad and then you'll feel like it's a reflection of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but
that makes sense.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not preparing.
Yeah. Okay.
So preparation is also, that's another thing that we could have added to one of the first questions, that when you get anxiety or if you get fearful, that is basically your mind trying to tell you that you should get prepared. And if you can use that as a cue for prepare better or prepare well for an event or a competition, then your mind would switch from the fear would just go away.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. So seeing responses as normal and a cue to act on it rather than, oh no, I'm getting worried or blah, 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 for sure.
Yeah, basically. It's almost, your emotions is almost like the dashboard on your car that is telling
warning
you...
light.
Warning light, yeah. And some people just freak out when there's a warning light.
Yeah. And then other people just ignore it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's not good either.
No, you want a balance, don't you?
Yes. You see the warning light, it prompts you to do something about it, and then it's all good.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So how do you stop overthinking in its tracks and quieten your mind? So again, quite a broad question. I don't know exactly in what scenario they're saying the overthinking's happening, but I suppose just general overthinking while you're at an event competing.
Yeah, and in terms of that, it's going back to the attention span. It's just that there's too many things just coming in, so you're not able to focus on what you need to do. And probably one of the best ways to train your attention is, and it's probably one of the most boring answers, and that is actually to meditate. Because in terms of my view on meditation is that it's not about keeping your mind quiet. It is about learning how to catch yourself when your mind just drifts off.
Okay, yeah.
And for agility people, it's like, I always say that the conscious mind is the inner handler and the subconscious mind is the inner dog.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So when you're overthinking, it's like your dog is all over the place, having sumis, fighting the couch.
Yeah.
Kind of, that's the inner dog just going crazy. And with meditation, you're basically learning your dog just to sit. And then it will walk away, and then it will drift off and start to smell on something else, and then you just take it back, and then you learn how to sit. You might be able to do that for 5 seconds before it drifts off again. But then it's all about getting it back, catching when it's drifting off, and then getting back to that calmness.
So it's focusing the mind, not quietening it.
Yeah, it's definitely that. And sometimes, again, in terms of, we talked about this in terms of, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my feelings, I'm not my actions, and I'm not my result. That is also affirmation that you can use in order to create a space between you and thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, and so on. And they call it mindfulness, but I more agree with this app called Headspace.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so I think it's a British app, actually.
Yeah, I think it's on. I think you can get it on Spotify, or also you can get meditations on all sorts, can't you?
Yeah, on YouTube, everywhere, and it's nice to use that from time to time. But it's all about actually not getting your mind full. It's about creating more space in your mind.
Okay.
And once you train that over time, it's like your imagination. If you're practicing rerunning the runs you've done in the past that was successful, you're strengthening your imagination. When you're doing meditation, you're strengthening your focus. And then you will be more able to deal with when overthinking comes. You can then catch yourself in doing that. And then you can choose a different path.
Yeah. I find meditation is so hard for me. I need to get better at it. I just find myself just thinking about random things that I don't need to be thinking about.
Yeah, but then again, you have to set the proper intention with the meditation. It's just catching yourself drifting off.
Yeah.
And the thing is that if I've almost seen it like a game in a way, I'm quiet and I feel my mind is drifting off. It's like, yes, I'm catching myself. And it's almost like it becomes rewarding catching your mind drifting off to take it back into calmness.
Yeah. So
then meditation becomes something else.
Yeah, it's training in itself, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So how do you maintain motivation during a difficult period of training? So I suppose as well, competing, if you're having that phase where you're just having a hard time, it's never going your way, you can often find you lose kind of the love for it and you almost think, well, why am I even bothering? So how do you keep your motivation high to go out there and train and get better?
Yeah, it's a big thing when it comes to motivation. It's like, how much is it worth?
Yeah.
I would say that motivation is the spark and habit is the flame.
Yeah. It's that motivation versus discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, and also another thing that's important is that motivation is a byproduct of action, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. So for those that didn't catch it, oops, I lost my phone. But for those that didn't catch it, it basically means that everyone is waiting for motivation to show up so that they can act. What you basically need to do is to act, and then you will get the motivation as a byproduct of it. And then you will act
momentum.
Again. Yeah, you build up momentum. And I will always refer back to a book called Atomic Habits with James Clear.
Yeah.
Because he emphasized this a lot. And if you think about it, it's so relatable to dog training. And I always say that dog training and mental training are basically the same. You just have to apply the principles of dog training towards yourself.
Yeah, positive reinforcement, stuff like that.
Yeah, so true. And it's all about, let's say, just facilitating. So if you're facilitating bad behavior, then you will get bad behavior. So if you're eating dinner and someone knocks on the door and you are pulling your chair away from the table and leaving it open for your dog, and you come back and you see that your dinner is gone, it's like, you made it happen.
Yeah, you kind of, it's your fault.
Yeah. It's basically your fault.
Yeah.
It's not the dog's fault. It just follows instinct, right? It's like there's mommy left me dinner for me. It's like, great.
Yeah, you can't really blame him.
No, you can't, because you facilitated it.
Yeah.
So when I work with people, I talk about those principles that he talks about. And let's say that one of your listeners is struggling with motivation to train their dog because they've got some bad results and motivation is low.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing is just, what do you need to do? What are the actions that you need to do? It's like, I need to go to a training session. Okay. How can you make that happen? So one of the things is make it obvious, book it into your calendar. If you don't have one, get one.
Yeah.
Or make an appointment with a coach just to get over that barrier. So it becomes more painful not to do it than it is to do it.
Yeah. And like you said, if you use your calendar or book in with someone else, it's accountability, isn't it? Like you kind of have to go.
Accountability is an assurance against failure. Yeah. So, so using that, and it's also taking down the barrier. This is when it comes to physical training of yourself. It comes to when training the dog. It's like there's a reason why a lot of coaches uses like a 5-minute trainer is because you're shaping a habit if you do that. If you say that my minimum requirement of an approved action is 1.5 hours, is like, never gonna happen. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah. Too long, too high of an entry, or the barrier to entry is too high.
So make it simple and achievable.
Yeah, it's the same as asking your extra small dog to jump at a large height bar.
Yeah. Yeah, the bar is literally too high.
The bar is literally too high. Or not just the bar, because the extra small dog would just run underneath. But let's say a wall.
Yeah, a wall, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a better visual metaphor for it. So you have to take it down. And in some cases, you have to remove the bar or the wall all over. That once you take just a tiny little action, that is then giving you a tiny bit of motivation.
Yeah.
And then if you can leverage that again, then you can start to build it gradually.
Yeah. So don't wait for the motivation. It will come.
Don't wait for the motivation. Figure out how you can remove the friction from taking action. Then get to the point. If you have to renegotiate with yourself, like for 10 minutes, just go through it. As long as you get to the action part.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you reframe setbacks from failure to learning opportunities then? Because like we said earlier, in most eliminations, or failures as we call them, there is an opportunity to learn somewhere. Just got to find it.
Yeah. And that goes really into you building a process that you build sort of a way that you deal with processing your runs. So when you watch a run, especially let's say that you videotaped a run, then if you ask proper questions, you will change your filters and you will start to find things that you're asking questions about. So you can direct your thinking with questions.
Yeah.
So if you ask the question, okay, what in this video, in this run was really good or good?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be really good. It could just be good.
Yeah.
And then it's just start and stop the video. It's like, okay, I had a really good sit and stay. You write that down. A good sit and stay. It start to run in my queue. Good. Perfect. Sequence 1 to 5. Excellent. Got eliminated at 6. Okay. Then redid 1 to 12. That was perfect. Did a mistake at 13. And you just go through that because you're starting to look for things that are really good about the run.
Yeah. And like we said earlier, it doesn't take a lot to be eliminated, so it's easy to just focus on that one thing, even though the majority of it was probably good. So it's like forcing yourself to appreciate the good parts first.
Yes. And that's the right word, to actually appreciate.
Yeah.
So there's one thing saying that if you can replace expectations with appreciations, your life will change. And it's a good quote. And if you can sort of sit down and really appreciate what you're actually accomplishing, because I think most agility handlers are underestimating what they actually are doing.
Yes.
That they managed.
No, yeah, 100%.
They managed to get a dog through an unknown course that they had 6 to 8 minutes to learn.
Yeah.
And the dog is running through that course for the first time in their life. And they actually able to do a bunch of the things that is set out in the course.
Yeah. And often, like, you'll show a video or do it in front of someone who doesn't do agility. And the fact that you can just get the dog to do the sit, wait, and then go over one jump, they're like in awe. They're like, I can't believe you can even do that. But to us, it's so normal that, like you said, we don't appreciate it. We take it for granted in the end. Yeah.
We definitely take it for granted. And just going through that, thinking through it, that allows you to put on that filter. So by the end, you managed to at least get a couple of things that were really good with the run. If you're in a really bad state, if you're really pissed off of your own performance, wait a little bit and then rewatch it again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't do what I sometimes do and delete the video like 5 minutes after the run. Don't do that. Calm down first.
Don't do that. Calm down first.
Yeah.
And then go through it.
Yeah.
And then you can ask yourself the next question is not what was bad, but what can I learn from this run? Because one of the most important things when it comes to, if you look at athletes, professional athletes, it's like you could have in any sport, you have the best in the world, and they still have a coach. And that coach is not the best in the world in that sport.
Yeah,
they're just there as a sparring partner in terms of telling them what they need to improve, what they need, what they could do better, what they did really well, so they can actually see it from a different perspective. And then based on that, they will gather feedback that is super valuable for them to build a new plan, new training sessions. They will then gather the data that they need in order to improve their game.
Yeah. And it's having that, like you said, outside perspective that's also not so emotionally attached as well. Because when you're doing it with yourself and your dog, you are really in it emotionally. But a coach can see it from an outside perspective where there's no emotion involved. So it's kind of easier and simpler for them to say it as it is and break it down.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say that this is on record that we're really good at this, but we have had times where we actually sit down, Ellie, me, and her mother, we're just rewatching the different runs. We're sitting in the camper van. We connect the phone to the TV.
Yeah.
And we just sit there and we just analyze it through this. We've done that a couple of times. And that was basically inspired from Formula One, where they, after every run, they go through, or every race, they go through the race one more time. And they just analyze the data because they need that data in order to improve for the next race.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the difference. If you think it's a failure, you'll just get mad and try and forget it. But if you think it's a learning opportunity, you'll be like, right, let's look at it then. And, and really try and get those points out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can leverage that. And that learning that you get from those runs, that will help you build the plan for the coming week.
Yeah. You can actually improve then. And it's not, hopefully won't happen again because you'll learn from it.
Yeah. And then you actually get value from the competition despite it being an elimination.
Yeah. And hopefully it wasn't AWC or one of your big competitions anyway.
Hopefully, but still even there, it's like, we gone through runs and Ilias had a couple of elimination at big events, right? So if we go back to, not this year, but last year, we were in Belgium. She, after the first individual jumping, she ended up on third place.
Okay.
She was the third, one of the last runners, and she got eliminated.
Yeah, painful.
And that sucks.
Yeah, it is very painful.
It is very painful. But she dealt with it really, really well. And she just knew that this was my fault. I did something before the dog walk that confused Sarah, and then that is the reason why the elimination happened. Or the miscommunication happened.
Yeah.
And she took that to heart, and then based on that, she could make changes in the future. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the nature of the game, and if you learn how to appreciate that and love that, you can get far.
For sure. No, definitely. What fitness exercises do you recommend that agility handlers focus on in the gym? So kind of shifting from mental now to actual physical fitness for the agility handler.
Yeah. So if we look at agility, what are the demands? So when I start with a new sport, I always look at what are the physical and mental demands of that sport.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I always analyze it from there. And in most sports, you would actually get a framework saying that you should have this amount of VO2 max. You should have this amount of speed on a 40-meter sprint. If you go to, what's your favorite football team?
I have no idea. I don't watch football.
Oh, perfectly okay. Let's say that, hope that I'm not stepping on anyone's toes, but you can find this in any sports team, even at a low level, your local sports team, even that they have requirements for where their athletes should be. They should sprint this and this fast over that distance, and they should be able to lift this much in weights in different exercises.
Almost like a fitness test for them that they have to meet.
Yes, it is a fitness test.
Yeah.
And based on, they usually test it in the beginning of the season, and then they create an individual plan based on their strengths and their weaknesses. So they focus more on fixing their weaknesses than others.
Yeah.
So how is this relatable to agility? Well, the thing is that what determines the requirements of your fitness level is basically your dog.
Yeah, how fast the dog is.
How fast the dog is,
yeah.
and the courses that you're running, because you could have different course design. And you see now that, especially I know that there are some differences between the courses in the UK and what you find elsewhere in Europe.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of the lines and so on. And that has a totally different demand. And even if we look back to how the European Open was back in 2020 or 2015, like 10 years ago, it's a totally different course.
It's like totally a different sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally different. So things have changed a lot. And what is always the thing is that when it comes to agility handlers, they're running for 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
Which means that you need what's called anaerobic endurance. That means that you need to work without oxygen.
Yeah, for that
that's
time.
So that's when the lactic acid builds up. And many people feel that they are short of breath. It's like, oh, I have such a bad endurance. And then they start running for a marathon, training for a marathon. It's like, that's not going to help you for agility.
Completely different kind of training.
Different kind of endurance even. So that's one of the things that we focus on, building up the anaerobic threshold in terms of running.
Yeah.
And when it comes to strength is also a foundation of that. So what we focus a lot on is that we stick to the basic exercises. So that is deadlift, it is squats, it is lounges. Those are especially for the legs.
Yeah.
I'm basically sitting on a plyo box at the moment. That is my chair, because then I can adjust my positioning all the time.
Good idea.
So we use some plyo as well to get that explosiveness. So how we would do that in terms of strength training is that we would start maybe now when it's the foundation season, that's during winter.
Yeah.
We will probably do a program where she does 8 to 10 reps, 2 to 3 sets per exercise, and we keep it basic. Then once we're getting closer to March, we're going down to 4 reps maximum 5 reps.
Okay.
And heavier weights.
Yeah.
So that you're not. What we're trying to do is stimulate the nervous system so that we get all the muscles firing at the same time. Because that is what you need for agility. You need the muscles to fire at the same time.
Yeah.
You get a higher energy production with the same amount of muscles.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So we focus on the strength. And then once we get closer to an important event, whether that is the national tryouts and so on, we take down the weights, but we're still at a maximum 6 rep repetition in order to create explosiveness. So then it's about how you execute the exercise, whether it's deadlifts or squats or what it might be.
Yeah.
In terms of being explosive up, because she needs to build her explosiveness.
It's that power, isn't it?
Yeah, it's power, yeah. So Ailey, she's fast. For sure, she's a really fast runner, but she can become more explosive, and she has a huge potential there in order to build upon that. So we work a lot with that, creating that explosiveness. And then on the treadmill, we usually do in the winter time, so in the foundation season, we can go skiing here in Norway since we have snow, and then we can go for long skiing trips with the dogs, and they just love it. And taking it very slow, but just enjoying it. Do that for an hour or two, depending on the weather. And then we can do longer distance or long time intervals. That could be 4 minutes intervals, 4 of them. That's a session. As we get closer to the tryouts or AWC, that is when we're doing short intervals. So like 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And we do that for 8 rounds.
Okay.
And that is one interval. And then we do 6 to 8 of those. So it's just high speed.
Intense.
You're running intense. And those 10 seconds, they go so fast. And the 20 seconds feels like they last forever.
Yeah, I know the feeling. And it changes throughout the year, doesn't it? Like you said, what you do exactly changes with the season, with what's coming up, stuff like that. So that's then helping us building that anaerobic endurance. So when she gets to the end of a run, it's like she's not trying to catch her breath. She's got more in the tank.
She got more in the tank. But also watch track runners, like the ones that are running 100 meter, 400 meter. Once they finish their run, it looks like they've done nothing. Like
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. But when they get to the interviews, they're like sweating, they're breathing. And they're compensating for the lack of oxygen. So.
And as well, I think with strength training, I think a lot of agility people might neglect that, thinking it's not part of it, it's not related. But it, like you said, it's that foundation, isn't it?
It is the foundation. It's like, look at it. It's like you're running, you're stopping, you're twisting, you're accelerating again. And that is also one of the things that we do before the season, is that we're also doing sprints, and we're doing pretty short sprints. It's not like we're running 100 meters. I think that the maximum that you will run in agility is like 30 meters. I think, one straight.
Just in lots of different directions.
Before you need to stop and change your direction and accelerate again. And I think that the most important thing that you develop as a handler is your acceleration, ability to accelerate.
That's definitely important. And keep up with those speedy dogs we've got. Cool. So what are your top tips then for eating well and prioritizing nutrition as an agility handler with a busy schedule? So again, when you're always on the go, you're always at shows, and shows just have these food bands that are all just fast food. So you're constantly surrounded by burgers and chips.
I can imagine. So one of the things is that generally when it comes to, especially now that we're entering into January, a lot of people start on meal plans. Meal plans is a strategy that I would only use for professional athletes that get paid to lose weight. Let's say a boxer before a match when they have a weigh-in, and professional actors that have a shirtless scene. Or a fitness athlete before a big competition. Because every one of them knows that a meal plan is a short-term strategy in order to peak an outcome. And you don't want to live your life based on the meal plan. So one of the important things is that you should learn the basics, the basic habits and that is trying to add a source of protein of your choice, whether that is meat, milk, or dairy products, or vegetarian or vegan products. Depends on what your choice of lifestyle is. Have some sort of carbohydrates, have a good source of that.
Yeah.
And then a source of fat.
Yeah. Okay.
And then try to have a okay mix of that. And
bit of everything as well, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of everything. And use simple measures. Don't use an app. It's like protein source should be the size of your paw. It should be, the carbohydrate should be a source of like the size of your fist.
Okay.
And fat should be in source of size of your thumb. And if you can use that as a framework, for most people, especially for women, that's the general rule. You will get so far just that.
Yeah, it's keeping it simple, I think, is the main thing, especially when you're busy.
Going to competitions, but also could be done in a daily practice is meal prep. Yeah.
So getting it ready so you can take it with you instead of having to cook it each day from nothing. You save so much time. You save so much thinking or decision-making power, I would say. True, definitely. Because you just have it prepared, and it's like fast food that is healthy. And let's say that you prepare for the next 3 days, you use the same amount of time as if you were to prepare for that one single day. Yeah, no, it's smart, definitely. Yeah. And the food is still fresh. Yeah. And you can choose what you have then, can't you? You know exactly what you're eating. Yeah. So and it'll probably save you money as well. You will save money on food prepping for sure. You will save time, and you will feel better. You will be less grumpy. Yeah, for sure. And you will actually you can actually also feel better, look better, and have more energy. So. Yeah, for sure. So what are your top tips for improving the dog handler relationship outside of agility? Because if you don't have that, then your dog is unlikely to listen to you. You're not going to gel on course. It's very important. Yeah, I would say that I was sort of quote Ailey here is that agility is just another trick. Yes, no, that makes sense. I like that. Yeah, so if you can sort of look at agility as just a pile of tricks that's just put together. So when you get to a course and running that is just you're doing 22 different tricks. Yeah, that is a very good way of putting it, actually. Yeah. And when you like, for me, I don't train the dogs in terms of I help do some strength training with pads and so on. When Ailey does that, and we have 4 dogs, so we kind of have to manage that together. But building the relationship is all about for us. It's the walk, it's the training, the small things in the daily life. Is that you're just building that relationship and strengthening it. The everyday things. Everyday things. I think that's super valuable because then it's sort of transferable over to the agility course as well. Yeah, no, for sure. Cool. So are rest periods really necessary? And if so, why? So kind of in the season, having a few months, well, however long you really think you need, in between competitions where you don't really do a lot of agility. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So for us, we divide the year. This goes back to the yearly planning part. And I'm a big fan of that, is that our competition season is when the tryout is, that is around May. Yeah. And then it's, depending on how it looks like, if she goes through the tryouts, it's usually European Open in August, July or August. And then it's AWC in September or October, depending on the year. Yeah. So we would have then also some summer competitions in June, July. So we would usually say that our first competition period is in May till June. Okay. And it's kind of a short rest period of maybe 1 to 2 weeks before we start to prep for European Open. Okay. So then it's prep phase before European Open. And then the second competition phase starts around
European Open is usually the trigger for it.
Okay.
And then it ends after Norwegian Open. So it's usually AWC and then it's Norwegian Open the week after normally. And then we basically have a month off.
Yeah. Nothing really happens after that, does it, either?
No.
Okay.
So that period, we don't sign up for competitions unless it's she's running with a different dog or like as a border collie that she's getting up through the grades.
Yeah.
And she might enter 1 or 2 competitions. But in that period, we're hardly training agility. We're just cooling down. And every time that happens, like, wow, this is what a weekend feels like.
Yeah, like, I know. You forget, don't you?
Yeah, you forget. And this year it's different. It's because Ellie is pregnant, so we have to take that into account.
Yeah.
We pushed the sort of rest period a bit until January when she has her, you call it due date? Is that what you call it?
Yep, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, I had to check. Then she will need a rest period, and then we just have to time it so that she's prepared for the tryouts in May.
Yeah, so leaving enough time to build fitness back up after the rest period as well, factoring that in.
Yeah, and there's so much things that we don't know yet, so we just have to take that once we get there, because we basically have to rebuild our whole body.
Yeah. No, definitely adds a spanner to the works, definitely.
Yeah, and then we have a small little human that we have to take care of as well.
To come to all the agility shows.
Yeah, she will go to all the agility shows as well. She just have to tag along for the first, I would say, 18 years.
Yeah.
Then we'll see if she becomes an agility handler herself.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait and see.
Wait and see.
So I guess the why a rest period is so important is quite self-explanatory. Stops injury or, prevents it in the handler and dog, and also stops them burning out as well, mentally.
Yeah, because if you're constantly chasing that win or consciously chasing competitions, it will drain you in the long term. It's not sustainable. And every single professional sports that I know does this.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for it. And it's that you need that time. Yeah. And you need that time just to cool down, to reflect, to just have some space between you and agility, to sort of maybe live a normal life.
Yeah.
Just
like you said, remember what a weekend is.
For a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true.
And then, but what happens after that rest period is that you're eager to start all over again. You want to.
It's that motivation comes back, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You get hungry again.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. No, definitely necessary.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with the pressure to keep producing results after a previous success then? So if you have a success such as a medal internationally, how do you kind of combat the pressure to then do it all over again the next year? Because you assume people will be expecting you to do it again because you've done it once and stuff like that.
So this has become a habit and a routine for us that Ailey's been kind of blessed in terms of having been on the national team for Norway since 2016. And she's had several medals in European Open and AWC. Not gold yet.
Yes, exactly.
Yet. Yeah. And that's one of the things that we're aiming for and fighting for. But every time after an AWC, when sort of the season has ended, when we get into the car or we get on the plane going back, depending on where we are, we always say, "What's the score?" And the score is 0-0.
Okay. So
and that's
like
just
resets.
It's a reset. It's like, in our mind, you're a world champion for a day.
Yeah. Okay.
And then on Monday, the game starts all over again. And the score is 0-0 for everyone in the world.
Yeah. So clean slate. No baggage.
No baggage.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to frame it.
Yeah. And it's also after if you had a important competition and it didn't go as you wanted to or expected.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's done, what's the score?
Yeah.
Score is 0-0.
Yeah, so no matter if it went really bad or really good, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And going back to football, I'm not a big football fan, but I really like some of the coaches. And Manchester United had a coach from Norway, which his name was, they call him Ollie, I think. That's the English version of his name. Ole Gunnar. It's his Norwegian pronunciation. And he just said that we just need to focus on the most important thing, and that is the next match. And he always used to say that after interviews, and I think that's the important mindset, because once the run is done, all you can do is go through the process of analyzing it, find what was good, what can you learn from it, harness that, and back to training, and then get better, take the feedback and improve upon it, and then the next important thing is the next run.
And it's always a different course, always a different day, different conditions. You can't really compare it anyway to the last time you did well, so completely separate.
Yeah, that's the hard part with agility. It's also the unique part. Imagine how boring agility would be if there only was like 3 course designs.
Yeah, no, it just wouldn't be the same, would it? No one wants that.
It wouldn't be.
Definitely not. We'd all get bored soon enough. So how do you stop comparing yourself and your dog to other partnerships then? Which is a tricky one.
Yeah, it goes back to what I mentioned. Is like our default mindset is that result-oriented mindset where you basically you do compare yourself against others. And as I said, there's nothing wrong about that, because it is a competition.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of it, isn't it, in a way?
It is. And we do that as well. It's like you can even do that in terms of measuring progress, right? So if you know that you have a certain distance in terms of seconds from another dog, or milliseconds, because there's a dog that you usually compete against from weekend after weekend, and you're just seeing that you're gaining traction on that. That is a way of measuring progress. But it's all about catching yourself in that default mindset of being result oriented, and then switch your focus. Is just say that, okay, that's fine. That's just my default mode. Now I would like to switch to process oriented. Yeah. And you focus on what you have developed, the progress you've had. And the thing is, like, if you are comparing yourself against another dog, let's say the dog is faster than your dog, and you've been working hard on making progress, making the dog faster and so on, and you don't see any change, there could still be change. It's just that the other dog is improving in the same pace as well, right?
Yeah, true. And they always say, it sounds cliche, but, you know, you're only competing against yourself and stuff like that. And it's true, really, isn't it? As long as you're getting better, then that's what matters. Like you said, the process.
Yep, definitely. So it's and it's also about what you measure. I think is important as well. One of the things that we try to measure during a year is not necessarily how many wins you get, but what is your sort of. So the name of the game of agility is stability. Because if you're stable on a consistent basis, that is when you're sort of, you can go to any competition and you know that you have a confidence in yourself and your dog.
Yes, that consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, the consistent stability. Yeah. That is probably one of the most important parts when it comes to agility. And if you don't measure that, then too bad. So at the end of the year, you should basically have like an Excel sheet where you just go through and you have a score that says how many clean runs you have, like a percentage. Yeah. And how many completed runs, if you got a fault or what you call a refusal. You still measure that. Yeah. And then you have your elimination score. And then if you have the overall for the year, then you have some sort of statistics. Yeah. And let's say that you're 50-50. So 50% of your runs get eliminated and 50% are completed, right? then you can basically set goals based on that data in order to improve that.
Yeah.
So you would say that next year I would like it to be 60-40.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. The Excel spreadsheet's a good idea. I'm going to do that.
Ellie she has been tracking in an Excel sheet since, I think it's 2013.
Oh, wow. Okay.
With all our dogs.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big spreadsheet.
It's a big spreadsheet.
No, it's good because then again, you're competing against old versions of yourself. Instead of having the focus on everyone else, you're just dialing in on your own performance, which is helpful when you're, looking at other people.
Yeah, and you don't count podiums.
Yeah, it's just clean runs or eliminations or faults.
Yeah, and that's going back to, it was in 2023 when Ellie got a second place overall. It's like, we have like a big objective or a vision of getting a gold medal.
Yeah.
But when we go to a championship, what we focus on is the things we can control.
Yes, 100%.
And in that case, it's like the best thing that we can get out of AWC is 4 clean runs.
Yeah. And then the results just come.
And then the result just comes. And at that event, she had 4 clean runs. So she did 2 clean runs for the team. Then she had 2 clean runs for herself. And she ended up in 7th place after jumping. And then she ended up in 3rd place in the agility. And then she got on 2nd place. And then in 1st place it was Kersti Jørgensen.
Oh yes, of course,
yeah. But we knew that Augie was faster. So if Augie had 2 clean runs, we knew Augie would beat Sarah. That was just, we knew that.
Yeah, but she did the best she could do and knew that she'd done her best runs, which is the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the main thing. That's what she could control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we were super happy with that because that was our sort of objective for that AWC.
Yeah, those 4 clean runs.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So what are your top tips for dealing with the mental side of an injury then? So if you get injured and can't train, can't compete, you're watching everyone else do it, you're struggling because it feels like it's taking forever.
Pain plus reflection equals progress.
Yeah, good one.
You need to reflect. And you also need to look up what I would do in that situation. I would look up stories of other athletes, professional athletes, because professional athletes get injured as well. In this case, the dog is our athlete. I also view the handler as an athlete.
Yeah.
But it's not the athlete that's being measured. It's only the dog.
Yeah.
So if your dog gets injured, then first of all, you have to, I would say that's painful, yes, but if you also have to stop and reflect.
Yeah.
In terms of what were the causes of that injury and what could we do to correct it and then also prevent it.
Yeah, stop it from happening again.
Yeah, stop it from happening again. And this comes through experience because I could take one case when Ellie was running with Zelda, which is now our oldest dog. She's about 12 and a half. And this was at her end of her career. So during COVID, we were at the national championship for Norway. And we had rented a hotel. There was nobody there. It was just us, and it was a lot of open space. And the dogs could run freely. And then she ran behind a shed, and we kind of ran after her, but not hasting. But then she was eating some fermented food of some kind. And then she got sick. She got really, really sick.
Okay.
And that ruined the whole championship.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're worrying about her as well. Be horrible. Because as well, for you two, being worried about her that whole time as well. Like, the whole experience just goes.
Yeah, it just ruined the whole experience for Ellie. She also had Sarah then because she had gotten to grade 3 because we have a 3-grade system here in Norway.
Yeah.
And so she was also competing at the national championship, but she was fairly young at that time.
Okay.
but it was basically, I was during the national championship, I was at the vet and Illy was at the championship trying to with the other dog, but she couldn't perform well because she was worried about her dog,
couldn't
right?
Focus, yeah.
Yeah, and that is like the corrective action was to get her to the vet and get her hydration up and sort of get out the toxicity that was in her blood.
Yeah.
And then the preventive action was that at a championship, you never go off leash.
Yeah. Don't do it again.
Yeah, don't do it again. And it's like when we're at championships, no matter what, that was on home turf, so we kind of felt comfortable. We also saw that it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's just being strict on those rules, and you learn from those rules, right?
Yeah. And I suppose it's the same for a human injury as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the same thing. It's like, why is my knee hurting? Why do I have that constant knee problem? Go to someone that can help you look at it from a different perspective. So I had knee problems for a long time, and I couldn't compete at that most important competition during the summer, you know?
Yeah.
And that was devastating. And I couldn't train for it. So I went to a former colleague of mine who's a physiotherapist. As I have issues with my knee. It's hurting. It's like, yeah, take off your shoes. And it's like, yeah, don't care about my feet. My knee is hurting. And he's like, no, just be quiet, listen. And then what he found out was that my foot is really flat. So what do you call that in English?
Well, just flat feet.
Oh, flat feet. Okay,
yeah, that's
good.
What it's called. That's the physio term for it.
Yeah, flat feet. So I have flat feet. But then my big toe is also shorter than the second toe.
Ah, okay.
And that causes my foot to rotate a bit more inwards, which puts a different pressure on my knee. And through repetition, that is causing pain. So all I needed to do was just to get a different, not shoe, but the, what's it called?
Insole.
Insole, yeah. Different insole. So it cost me about 40 quids or something like that. Never had the problem again.
Wow, yeah, that was a good fix.
Yeah.
And you would have never thought the problem was your feet, would you? But it's all interlinked.
Never ever.
Yeah.
And that is just the pain plus reflection equals progress. And it's just thinking about, because then you can learn something new.
Yeah.
And it's using that. And if you get injured, it doesn't mean that you should train less. It means that you should train differently.
Yeah. Cross training, isn't it? So say bike, not run, or stuff like that people do.
Yeah. And one of the things that we do every single day is like, once we get up, and this is just, it's a habit for us. And it doesn't matter if it's minus 40 outside, because it can get to minus 40 here where we live. Or if it's in the middle of the summer, if it's completely dark or light, we go for a walk with the dogs. And where we live, it's almost like the soil is very squishy, so it's almost like running on a pad. And the dogs get to run free most of the year, which means that the dogs are getting that variation in terms of surfaces.
Proprioception.
Yes. And that really, really helps. So we really believe in, if we were to choose about doing some strength training inside in our basement or going for a walk, we always choose to walk.
Yeah.
Because you will get so much benefits from it.
Yeah.
But if you can combine it, if you have time and energy to do that, that is the best.
Even better, yeah. So it's again preventing that through the fitness and the walks and stuff like that, preventing injury.
Yeah, and there's so much good resources on this. It's just usually what happens is that people start looking into this after they got an injury with their dog.
Yeah. Look into it first and prevent it.
That usually helps.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So last question then. How do you build trust in yourself and the skills that you have taught your dog? Yeah.
Trust. I would say that trust and belief is basically the same thing. So I would also say that it's believing in yourself. And you probably heard the phrase that you just need to believe in yourself.
Yeah, I know. It's so annoying when people say that, isn't it? And you don't know how.
Yeah. was like, and then you ask them, yeah, but how do you do that? I was like,
And they
oh,
don't
sorry,
know.
I have to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And belief is something so abstract and like untouchable, so you don't know how you can actually build it or what it is, and so on.
Yeah.
And the best metaphor that I've learned from what a belief is that if you can think of it as a table, that belief is like a table.
Okay.
That it consists of a table consists of a tabletop and legs that support the tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
If we imagine that the tabletop is an idea, then we have experiences that are supporting that idea.
Okay.
And that becomes the belief. So it's an idea with references.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
And then the idea could be both positive and negative. And the difficult thing with the human mind is that it's more biased towards negative ideas. Those are more believable than a positive idea.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's a statement saying that a positive idea or positive statement needs 100 proof. A negative one needs nothing.
Yeah, true. Because we just believe the negative one somehow.
Yeah, we take it sort of, yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
It's more believable. We trust negative news more than we trust positive news.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing with ourselves. We trust more the negative statements about ourselves than we trust the positive statements about ourselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we have to prove it to ourselves.
Yes, you have to prove it. And you have to be good at collecting evidence that support that idea.
Yes. Yeah.
So in order to create trust in yourself, I would say that it's the belief that you're able to do a thing.
Yeah.
And that could be divided into many things. It could be able to do a blind cross after the dog walk. It could be to that your dog will be able to do a running contact on the dog walk, or do the seesaw, and so on. So it's all about building that idea, a positive idea in this case, and then finding evidence and experiences that support that.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's how you build a belief. And I usually use 4 sources to build that belief. Number 1 is past results, or results from the past. And that is why it's so important to heart your good runs, so that you have that accessible.
Collecting all the positive things that you've done.
Yeah, definitely. And also could be looking back on the progress. It could be smart sometimes, and I see that on social media. People making like at the end of the year a progress video.
Yes.
Where they actually go through and just see the progress they've had throughout the year, and just like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, no, I do that. It's great. You just don't think about it until you sit down and you go through the whole year, and then you really think about it. Like I said, it doesn't enter your head otherwise.
Correct. So that's a good exercise as well, because that builds trust.
Yeah.
And then it's looking, you can also go to other people. So let's say that someone that you're training with has managed to accomplish the thing that you would like to accomplish. That just installs the belief that they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Again, instead of that comparison, think, well, if they've achieved it, that means it's possible.
Yeah. And you're kind of borrowing their experiences. And that is why you often see that if you have one agility handler doing well at a championship, it creates sort of a momentum in that country. Usually.
Yeah, it rubs off on the rest of the team.
It does. And especially from me watching from the outside, especially when it comes to the UK team, or the GB team, as you call it.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a good momentum now. It's just the EO that you guys had was just fantastic, and for you as well. That was fun.
Yeah, it kind of snowballs, doesn't it?
It does, and it instills belief in you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's one part. And then it's verbal persuasion. That's another one. So that's why affirmations work. Okay, but it could also, what is important there is if someone that you consider an authority comes over to you and say, that was a fantastic run. So if you just imagine that someone that you've looked up to for many, many years as an agility handler, or that you just look up to in general, comes over to you and says that your run that you had was just fantastic. It was just a pleasure to watch. It does something to you.
Yeah, you believe it then, don't you? It's like you believe it way more coming from those people than yourself, essentially.
Than your mother.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I go, well, you're going to say that because you're my mum.
Yeah, so but it makes so who you get it from has a huge influence, and where you sort of how you view that person also has an impact. It increases the value of that statement.
Yeah, true.
And that becomes then a leg underneath that table that you have, right?
Yeah.
And then the fourth source, and the fourth source is your emotional and physical state. So if you haven't slept for 4 days, you don't you don't trust anything anymore.
No, honestly, no, nothing is good.
No. And one thing that is important there is that you can do that from real experiences, things that have happened. So meaning that things you've accomplished, things you've seen others have accomplished, and things that other people have said or you've told yourself.
Okay.
But you can also create, let's call it artificial references.
Okay.
That's where visualization comes in, where you're rehearsing that you have the experience that you would like to have.
Okay.
So it becomes like a past result that you've artificially created in your imagination.
Yeah, tricks your brain into thinking it's actually happened.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Your brain can differentiate from a real experience and an imagined experience, but it's really hard for it, especially if it becomes really realistic.
So the better you can visualize, the more likely your brain is to think that's real.
Yeah, and going back to that, if you get an emotional response or a physical response, that's when you know you nailed it, because then it's like your brain has said that this is a real experience.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So you can visualize a bear chasing you, but it doesn't mean that you get afraid. But if you visualize it and then get afraid, then it becomes then you've done it right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, yeah, that is some really talented visualization if you can feel the emotion, for sure.
Yeah, but it comes with practice.
Yeah.
It comes with, and you can do things. For me, I actually have to have music. So I use movie music.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because if you watch your favorite movie, I don't know what your favorite movie is, but if you take away the soundtracks, it would be the most boring movie you've ever watched.
True. Yeah, good point.
But if you add soundtracks to it, it just intensifies it even more.
Gives it more feeling.
It does. It gives feeling. So for me, I need first music, and then I start to visualize, and then I start to feel.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of people, and I've done this before, is wear headphones to like course walk and stuff like that. And not only does it block out any external noise, but like you said, you can play the music, you can kind of get yourself in your own head or in your own zone.
It could become like this light switch, right? Putting you into the right state of mind. And if you use the same playlist every single time you do that,
that's your trigger.
That's the trick.
Yeah. Or just one song if you really like a certain song. You'll get sick of it eventually, probably, but...
One song on repeat, and that just triggers you. And for me, when I cycle around Norway that's what's sort of my breakthrough when it came to cycling. I did that to collect money for the cancer organization, Norwegian Cancer Organization. I knew that I needed to sort of build the trust in myself that I was able to do it, and I knew that most people did not believe that I could do it. So I knew that I had to build a lot of references that would support the idea that I could, and I was using existing past results, but also artificial past results.
Okay, yeah.
So I created this mental trailer, like, a trailer for a movie.
Yeah.
And I added one song to it, and I just listened to that song on repeat. And I had no idea how many times I listened to that song. But every time now, when I listen to that song, I get goosebumps. I will probably rewatch the movie, and it will just start.
Yeah, that's how many times you've done it.
Yeah, it just, my brain associate that song with that experience, and then I just step into it again.
Yeah.
So
The
and
brain
then
is
I will
very
get
powerful.
brain is very powerful, but you have to shape it.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the fact that dog training and mental training is basically the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we can all train our dogs, so let's apply it to ourselves.
Yes. And that's the cool part, because eventually the purpose of mental training is to shape behavior.
Yeah.
But it's your own behavior.
Not the dogs. Yeah.
Not the dogs.
Amazing. Well, that is all the questions. Thank you ever so much. That was really interesting.
Yeah, it was really fun to. I'm always glad when someone asks me to go on a podcast, because the favorite thing that I like to talk about, I just like to talk in general, so I can do this all day.
Yeah.
And there you have it, guys. That was super interesting. Thank you again, Christoffer, for hopping on the mic with me in today's episode. I found that so interesting. As you guys know, I'm very much into my mindset kind of stuff, psychology around competing and sports and stuff like that. So that was amazing, amazingly interesting for me, and I hope you guys loved it too. If you did enjoy it, please do leave the podcast a 5-star rating and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That would mean the absolute world to me. Also, make sure you're following the podcast on whatever platform you listen on, so that you do not miss any future episodes. I have some really, really cool guests and ideas for solo episodes as well lined up for the foreseeable future, so you do not want to miss those. Please do also keep sending me your podcast episode topic recommendations, whether that's for solo episodes, so things you want me to talk about, and then also let me know what future guests you would like me to have on the podcast and what things specifically you would like me to talk about with said guests. If you request an episode, it's pretty much completely guaranteed to get turned into an episode, so have at it, please do. You can send me a DM on social media with those. Also follow me on social media at the handle Pause in Pursuit or Summer Clark. Most of you already probably do, but I'm going to mention it anyway, as I always do. You can keep up with me over there. And last but not least, I do run in-person agility training in Lincoln, so if you'd like to have a one-to-one with me or join my regular group classes, again, please do just pop me a DM and we can discuss getting you booked in. I would love to help you achieve your 2026 goals in agility. So without further ado, I will let you guys get on with the rest of your day, and I will speak to you all next Wednesday at 8 p.m. as normal. Bye guys.